All right, let's get started. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where in the world you are tuning in from. You're welcome to today's edition of Ask the Cloud Experts. Ask the Cloud Experts. My name is Ifoma Halim. I'm joined by my co-host Aderisola Aino, and we're so delighted to be your guides on this fantastic webinar. So as the cloud experts, this is your opportunity to gain insights into our MTN cloud, to ask those pressing questions that you may have about our solution and how it can help your organization's goals. I'm joined by two senior cloud architects, Onome Ologe and Tobechukwu Ajoku. We're here to answer those questions and take you through the platform. You're very welcome. So a bit of housekeeping rules. Again, this is a webinar. It's a very interactive one as at that. So please feel free to submit your questions at any time using the chat box or the Q&A panel. And during the Q&A segment, we'll do well to answer these questions. Again, no holds barred. Any question at all that you may have about the MTN Cloud, please feel free to drop them there. Or a replay will be shared afterwards for you to reference. So if you see anything, maybe during the live demo, feel free to go over it again and again when you receive the replay. And then if you experience any technical issues at any point in time, please feel free to drop a chat, again in the chat box, or send an email to letstalk.ng@mtn.com. I'll take that again, letstalk.ng@mtn.com, and we'll see how we can support you so that you can get the best of this webinar. Right, so we want to keep to time. We're aiming for an hour, 20 minutes at max. So I'll be handing over to my colleague, Tobechukwu Ajoku, who will give us a live demonstration of MTN Cloud. Tobe, over to you.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, great. Good morning. All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this event making webinar. Thank you for taking out time from your busy schedules to be here. So I will just do a quick walkthrough of the MTN Cloud and to show us highlights, services, and platform capabilities that are currently on the system. Give me a second, I'm going to share my screen now. Right, so share my screen. Let me know when you can see my screen. Okay, please confirm you can see my screen. Yeah, okay, great.
Yes.
So this is the MTN Cloud. And I'll just log in as a user. So this is a test account. I need to log in. I've already entered my credentials. And just note as I go through, so currently this test account, I've also enabled two-factor authentication, which I'm pulling up my authenticator app to impute that detail now. And I've done this to show that the capability of the platform that users can also, should actually, as we advise, have two-factor authentication enabled on the account. Sorry, wrong one. To ensure that they protect their systems from unauthorized access. Oh, wrong account. Sorry, one second. I have popped into the wrong account. I was originally on the admin profile, so that user obviously doesn't have access to the URL that he landed on. Apologies for seeing that. Okay, so this is a user that's already pre-installed or pre-configured in the sense that I've been existing for a while, and I'm using this to show a fresh account will not have some of the details that I want to show you here on the call. So here we see that this customer currently has deployed 7 instances as of today. It currently sits on one of our cloud sites, right? And these are, details of logs being visualized around things that have occurred on the instances he has deployed. Now, if there were any errors, you would see them here. If my VMs had errors, you would see those were coming up here. I'll quickly get into the meat of the discussion, spin up a VM, let it take its course to deploy, then we come back and check what has happened with it, right? I'll run through the tabs and the capabilities of the system while the VM deploys so that we can then look at it together. Okay, so I go to instance deployment under provisioning. Like I mentioned, there are already pre-existing instances here, 7 of them. And if you see on those instances, you see there are metrics. So I can see the health of a system. I can see the CPU that I'm currently allocated to it and how much of that CPU is being utilized. I can see the memory and utilization. I can see the storage capacity, also the utilization on that instance. And there are several other instances here with those kind of views. So I'll just create a new one with the add button. So there are various services or OS types you can see on the system. So there are the CentOS, there's Debian, Ubuntu, Windows servers, and so on. So I'll just deploy an Ubuntu for this sake. Got this button. So there is already a predefined sequence for nomenclature for naming your instances, which you have the right to actually alter. Okay. So I'll just add a prefix to this, call it demo, just for this session. The environments you can have, these environments don't hold any particular information, but they are more or less tags for you to know where this instance sits. Is it a walkthrough like it is for this scenario? Is it a test? Is it a staging environment or stuff? I'll just put walkthrough just for discussion sakes, and I'll call it webinar. Done this before. Okay, here already pre-chosen as my Ubuntu instance, which I chose earlier. I can then make a choice of the plan to deploy. Is it a 1 CPU, 1 gig RAM instance? Or do I want to do a 2 CPU, 4 gig RAM instance or 1? So all of these are service plans that a customer has the ability to select from. Yeah. So this is let me do a 1 CPU, 4 gig RAM. You can see that slide out here. Then it gives me the pricing for this in Naira. I will drop this in a resource pool, which is a project called Demo Walkthrough. My root directory, I want to make it 20 gig storage size. I've already also predefined networks for this environment. And then I'll go ahead to select a security group. Now, we tell customers to always get started with the default security group, because that allows the telemetry components to start working before you start adding other refined access to the system. So this default is what comes in first. And I select the floating IP network, which is my second floating IP network. Okay, I can proceed to the next. And at this level, for experienced users who have workflows and things they want to add there, you can add additional workflows, add deployment services or scripts, define a load balancer, define a scale and threshold setting, and also put up a backup for that system and define the life cycle. How long should it be on? How long should it be off? I'll just do a simple deployment here and take that through to the very end. If I wanted to deploy 2 instances of this system now, I can make it 2 and have them deploy together I make it 4 as well, assuming I'm building this for copies of services that would, be replicas of themselves. Okay, I'll just give it that 1 and complete this flow. Okay, so this is what we're deploying, the demo TA from the script, the predefined script I showed you on the naming, right? You see that there are other components of that name that's already been injected here. TA is the acronym of my name. 425 is the tenancy ID. And obviously with the MTN cloud define, and the U22 defines the image type. So this allows you to identify your servers uniquely on your system. So this deployment will continue, and we'll come back to it. I just mentioned the name so we can keep an eye on that. We'll come back to it once it's done. Give it like three minutes or thereabout. So while that's ongoing, I'll just go through the other components on the system, right? Okay, so on the top panel of the view of your screen, right, you see tabs like operations, provisioning, where we currently are, library, infrastructure, backup, monitoring, tools, and administration. Now, one very important thing I showed earlier when we started was that I was a user who was logging in and also had access to log in with my 2FA, for example, and that because as a user, I can set my user settings, update my user settings, where I include things like username and password for my instances, my Windows and Linux instances that will be deployed. Two-factor authentication, you can see that this is already enabled, and also API access to the environment. Okay. But as the first user on the system, also I have the responsibility to ensure that my other sub-users, my tenants, my organization users can also log into the system. And that I do by coming to administration, where I have ability to define roles and also users for those particular roles. For roles, they are already predefined roles which can just be used. However, you also have ability to create a new role. If you feel that the roles here do not granularly refine to what sample audience you have within your organization. We'll have the customer admin, we'll have the customer audit admin who will see everything but cannot alter, billing admin who checks in on the pricing, the cloud user who would deploy instances for himself or for his subunits, the network user who should manage the network content of the system, the power user who is like an admin or cannot delete resources, and also modify user roles. Then the customer admin, which is the role I currently have, is the tenant that can, amongst other things that the power user can do, he can create users and also alter their roles. Okay. So you can also go ahead and create new users. I'll just try that now. So these are users in the system. Oh, 1 second. The bug was on that. So you can create a new user, right? And among the things you can do is to assign a role to that user. I can lock an account, you can cause it to expire, and so on. Okay, so away from the administration, one other thing that's currently available is to to onboard your pre-existing users from your enterprise. So you have an Active Directory running in your environment, and you want to onboard users on Active Directory and make that Active Directory that currently exists in the environment your source of identity source for users. So that's also possible for this environment. Meaning you don't have to manually create users, you can just inject them from the Active Directory and assign roles for them on the cloud. Okay, so away from that, to the day-to-day activities for a typical user on the system, obviously we now have 8 instances. I'll get back to that instance once I'm done. And from this dashboard, I can see a snipe view of what is going on within my environment. I can come to provisioning, okay, where we went to initially to deploy an instance. I can go deeper to see the catalog on the system that shows me currently available system, currently available services for this tenant. I would share this view again from another one. Just give me a second to show you what that same catalog view looks like from another customer's view. Okay, so this is that catalog view with a series of services that are currently available. This customer can create new projects if they want to have projects, a new project for what they're currently running. There are app servers, there are LAMP frameworks, there's MySQL databases, NFS, disk for attached onboarding for mounting on your Linux instances, Nginx, object storage, Postgre instances, SMB, and obviously SSL VPN access to the system.
Hello, Toby. Please confirm you can hear me. All right, apologies, everyone. I believe Toby is experiencing a bit of technical difficulty. Please give me a few minutes to get him back. Thank you. Hello, everyone. So apologies for that slight disruption. It looks like Toby is having a little technical difficulties, but he will join us shortly. In the interest of time, we'll just skip right to the frequently asked questions. We actually have some questions that we received in the past from customers. I believe that this would even help with inspiration for some of the questions that you may have for our experts. Onome, please confirm you're still on the call and you can take some of the questions while Toby gets on.
Yes, I am. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, yes, you are.
Okay,
All
great.
right, so let me just spotlight you and we'll jump right in. Right, so the very first question that we have here is about the platform, how it meets regulatory requirements, speaking to local data residency laws now. Can kindly shed some light on this.
Okay, this is huge for us, noting the fact that compliance is one of the pivotal points that our cloud offering stands on. So we are designed first and foremost to achieve Nigerian regulatory compliance, and we are achieving this regulatory compliance via data residency from our tier 3 data centers that are scattered all over the country. Now we have our security by design solutions, which include things like encryption at rest and in transit, tenant isolation. We have a very granular RBAC for managed access that Toby was showing a couple of minutes ago before we lost connectivity, which is helping us adhere to the principle of least privilege. Now, this is just mentioning a few. We have the audit readiness part of it. We're going to also show that a little more in the coming demos that we have for you, where we'll demo things like login, traceability, evidence support, all of this working hand in hand to help us achieve the regulatory requirements for NDPR, for NIDA, and maybe any other regulatory requirements that are sector-based, say, for instance, financial institutions and insurance. Now, as a recap, our cloud is regulatory ready with data sovereignty and audit confidence that will help you achieve the required regulatory compliance that you need without offshore dependencies, as would have with other cloud service providers that are out of the country.
Awesome. Thank you.
Right,
Thank you so
okay.
much for this insight, Onome. I really appreciate. So the second question we have for you is about the billing model for our compute and storage resources of MTN Cloud. If you kindly shed light on this and how it aligns with enterprise cost optimization strategies to ensure predictable budgeting and ROI.
Oh, okay. Just before I delve into that, does anybody on the call have any of the offerings that we have on the MTN Cloud platform? Is anybody running any workloads on the MTN Cloud platform? I would like you to signify just by a show of hands if you can. We know that traditionally for cloud services, the metering is either done by the hour or by the second, depending on the workload type. Now, for us on the MTN Cloud, not only do we bill by the hour, we go a step further by offering what we call transparent consumption-based pricing. So meaning that when your virtual machines are down, you do not pay for the full cost of the virtual machine because the compute is not running. You're just paying for the persistent storage that keeps your files for you. We also have commitment-based discounts, which is reserved capacity options for stable workload types. So if you want to run a workload, say for a year, you know you're going to be running it for that long, or for 3 years, as the case may be, you can take advantage of our commitment-based discounts and get some of huge cost savings, as I like to put it, off the pricing that you have for the infrastructure that you are hosted on the MTN Cloud. We also have postable peak capacity for peak periods. So if you have specific times during the year or during the month where you are expecting increased transactions, either for your services that you're hosted on the cloud, from a web or database point of view, we enable you flexibly scale up to suit the demand that you have. Then, of course, the second part of the pivotal offerings that we have on the MTN Cloud platform, which is our Naira billing. The value that we bring to the table from the Naira billing is that it helps you guard against FX exposure. That's number one. Number two, you now have full control of your OPEX, full control of your financial planning, because your cloud spend is not dependent on what the exchange rate per day or per month will be. That now helps you to take advantage of finance practices like cost accountability, predictable forecasting, and pretty much helping you get your cost governance into place. Then, like we'll see during the demos that we're going to walk through, you'll see things like quotas, you see things like chargeback. If your organization is going to be doing some sort of showback or chargeback to other internal departments, you see a lot of budgeting controls where you can determine what happens when you reach a particular budget cap that you get to set yourself. Now, all of this nicely comes together to help you achieve that predictable OPEX and ROI, pretty much helping you put your money where your mouth is in terms of managing your cloud costs.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much for those insights, Onome. Let's keep the questions coming in. I've already seen one or two from those on the call. Please feel free to drop them in the chat or in the Q&A panel, and we will address accordingly. So the next frequently asked question that I have here, it says, how can the platform help to deliver personalized customer experiences? So the likes of mobile apps, for instance, or the likes of chatbots.
So for support, we have 24/7 local enterprise-based support. I like to say that the support speaks the language of the customer. And here's what I mean by that. We all use one form of cloud service or the other, from SaaS solutions to probably even more enterprise-grade solutions. We know how we interact with support, either through chatbots, either through login tickets or things like that. Now, one of the things that we have come to see is that sometimes that support is impersonal, not understanding the language of the customer, not understanding the business nuances, not understanding the local terrain where you operate. Those are some of the hiccups that we see with existing support services. Now, for us, we have dedicated account management that is sector aligned. So if you have an account manager, the account manager will be speaking the language of, say, financial, government, education, as the case may be. So that way, they can help understand what challenges that you're facing, help you proactively resolve some of these challenges, and where support and remediation is required, we deliver the promise of professional services that will be tailor-made for the industry that we're looking towards. So whether it's migration services, for instance, or security or compliance, whatever it is, you can be rest assured that you have a locally accountable enterprise support partner that will hold your hand through your cloud journey. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are. Thank you. Thank you, Onome.
I thought for a minute I lost you.
No, we're still here. All right, so the first question that we have is from Nicargo, and it says, I want to understand if MTN Cloud works like IVR. I want to understand if MTN Cloud works like IVR. Second here is on APIs and whether or not they can integrate with websites, mobile app, or internal systems. So feel free to speak to any, then
Okay. Okay, so I'll take the later question first. Of course, we do have APIs. We have MTN Genesis. I don't know if you know about it. We'll just quickly put the link in the chat so that you can check what the offerings are. It's also what I would like to call an MTN sister company that is helping us with our API marketplace and exposing some of our telco assets on via APIs. So yes, of course, you can host on the M10 Cloud, easily use our ecosystem to integrate using APIs to whatever telco services that you want to consume. There are quite a number of our customers that are currently doing so. So I dare say that we're doing that pretty well so far. So reach out to us, if you don't mind. Let's also put the email address where they can reach out to us. If you have any specifics, we can always reach out, get a meeting, talk about what you want to achieve and deliver it together. So direct answer to your question, Nicargo Limited, is yes, we do offer that. Then for the IVR question, I need you to shed some more light. Are you talking about the support part of it?
Nicargo, please kindly shed more light on the question. You can drop a comment in the chat.
Yeah, you can just drop the comment in the chat.
Okay, he says he's talking about, or she's talking about the core routine regarding IVR.
Okay, so our support is more personal, where you get to reach out to your dedicated account partner either via phone call or via email, or we have the FAQs where you can chat with one of our chatbots to get answers to frequently asked questions. But for enterprise grade customers and the more tiered support that we have, you would have a dedicated support manager that will be responsible for handling your concerns or queries. So you're not going to be getting into any long call where somebody holds you on and it passes you from person to person as it is with some other of the competition.
All right, thank you, Onome. Hope that answers your question, Nicargo. All right, so we're expecting more questions. It's Ask the Cloud Experts webinar. So please feel free, any pressing questions at all that you've had about the MTN Cloud, maybe from what you've seen online, your experiences with the solution at the moment, in times past, please feel free to share. Yeah, we stand by.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nicargo says, thanks, though I got a lot of questions, but think we'll have to be an appointment in person. Okay, not a problem.
Not a problem.
Look forward to connecting with you directly. Thank you. All right, so everyone, please do feel free to drop your questions.
Questions, observations, if you have gone through the process of setting up your MTN Cloud platform, any concerns or just general statements about how we can improve on the cloud service. Like I like to put it, is for Africa, from Africa. So it's our cloud solution. We are building it together for us and by us. So please let us know. It can be question, it can be comment, whatever it is. Please don't hesitate to share. Thank you. I see Toby is back now.
Exactly. I was about to say, I see Toby is back. Welcome back, Toby.
Yeah,
Please confirm.
thank you very much. I can hear you.
Fantastic, fantastic.
hear
So
you.
we'll just switch back to the demo. I'm hoping that as we go through that demo, it'll give everyone an opportunity to identify features, identify just things really that they can ask questions about. So over to you, Toby.
Okay, thank you for my apologies. Technology behaved. All right, so I'll just go back to the screen I was sharing earlier. So before my flow froze. So we started a deployment of an instance, and like I mentioned, the 8th one has been deployed. I'll just go back to it and see what that system looks like. We named it demo as a prefix. So here it is. We can see that it's currently powered on. It has a health status that is okay. The CPU is barely being used, right? The memory is 33% utilized. The storage is 22% utilized currently based on the OS deployed into it. If I click into this, I would be seeing an overview of the system itself. So this is a summary page, which shows that I deployed it. And I record that on this tenancy, there are multiple users. There were about 6 of us, but this is the owner of the system. So I would have first access to the system itself deployed. Is 1 core CPU, it is 1 gig memory, and it has 20 gig of storage as we specified at deployment. Is Ubuntu 22.04 LTS. The version is also here, and it's deployed on an MTN AZ1. But I've been on AZ2 or the AZ3 that's upcoming. Okay, and this is my expected cost per month on this current deployed instance. You can see my public IP address. You can see the same stats I was showing earlier from the previous screen, the memory utilization, the storage utilization, and the CPU that is not actually being used because the system is more or less sleeping at the moment. Okay, one thing I want to do is to see if the system is, how I can access it. The first access point to the system will be on the console, which is on this tab here. I get into it, I should have ability to preview what the system looks like that I've deployed. So this is the console interface. From the console interface, I should be able to see the OS running into it. Okay, something might have, just give me a second. All right, so this is the OS. This is the system deployed. And I could check for internet reachability to see if I can reach the internet from the VM. And yes, I can reach the internet from the VM. From this, if I want to deploy a package into the system, I can comment that now. Right. So this is established, and we can go ahead and see what else can be done. For my network point, I can add additional security groups to this to refine my access to it. Additional security groups, if available, if I already created them here, I can add them to provide SSH access, to provide ability to reach my web services, 80, 443, or whatever it is. But this is a fully deployed system, functional and usable for every kind of instance that the customer wants to have. Okay, I mentioned a library where advanced users can deploy automation tasks for their systems. Infrastructure is where you have the core components of the system, of the networks, load balancer, and storage, and you can create new networks, and create new routers, security groups, like I mentioned, and all of those can be used within the system. You can define backups, you can see monitoring and logs for your system. Okay. You can see the health of your deployed appliances. You can also then look at tools where you keep ciphers and keys if you have them for your applications. Then the last tab here with the administration that we've already spoken about. Okay, so this is a short overview of the cloud environment that that gives you access to not just deploy instances, but control your users, give them refined access, get your reporting for your actually running systems, check up your logs, create backups, define networks and IP addressing schema, and so on. So this is a full enterprise-grade deployment. And we envisage that as customers come on the system, they will be coming as enterprises with those capabilities around who works on networks, who works on storages, who works on compute nodes, who is assigned to audit the platform, who is assigned to check for your consumption and and get all those details. And all of that can be done from refining who your users are and the roles that they have at the point of onboarding. Okay, I mentioned earlier that enterprises can also onboard users from their existing Active Directory environment, right? And that allows you to maintain policies across your current enterprise structures and what you have on the cloud environments. Okay, so that is a short overview a demo or a deployment of an instance. If there are any questions, we will be delighted to answer them. Thank you. I'll leave my screen sharing shared so that I could point to anywhere your questions arise from. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Toby, for that demo and overview. So the floor is open in case we have any more questions, especially based on what Toby has presented. Please feel free to share and we're available to address them. We also have some frequently asked questions. So what we can do is ask them and hopefully that will help to get the ball rolling as well. So Toby. Okay, so we have a question from Nicargo. Nicargo asked, does MTN Cloud support voice, WhatsApp, SMS integration in a single contact center solution? Does MTN Cloud support voice plus WhatsApp plus SMS integration in a single contact center solution? So Toby, please. Could you answer that?
Yeah, thank you, Fama. Nicargo, this is a good question. So I will assume this answer from two perspectives. One, can a customer deploy his contact center system within the environment and integrate services? Yes, we currently have a contact center provider on the platform who is running a similar service for their own customers anyway. The second side of it would be, is MTN Cloud already, from a user perspective, your contact point to us? Does it have a contact center that provides voice, SMS, WhatsApp integration? Not as of today, but I could hear Onome when he was describing the things we're rolling out for support to include AI-based chatbots that can allow you filter through the bulk of information we provided as guides to get you the particular response you need for what your concerns are. But not at the moment. We don't have WhatsApp. But yes, we can do that in the future when the contact center, the voice contact center goes live. But today we have account manager-led support where an enterprise can speak to his contacts and get built into a support path into the system. We also have ability to raise tickets for customers who have issues on the system. In addition to that, the chatbot now allows you to refine your questions and get answers from the documentations that we've already provided for the system. Okay, hope I answered that question properly.
Thank you, Toby. Nicargo, hope that clarifies. Another question from James. Question reads, does MTN Cloud support corporate businesses only, or individual businesses / personal profiles are supported in terms of usability? Let me take that again. So does MTN Cloud support corporate business only or individual businesses? And by individual businesses, that also includes personal profiles. And this is in terms of usability support. Onome or Toby, please, who can take this?
So Toby, if you don't mind, I'll take this one. Our MTN Cloud is cloud for all. From the SKUs that Toby had shown for the virtual machine setup, you see varying SKUs for varying workloads, from test environments to enterprise grade. So we support the whole gamut of users across board. Now, what you want to do with the cloud, either the services or the offerings that you want to onboard or you want to deliver to customers yourself, we'll speak to whatever tier or scale of service that you're going to take or consume of the MTN Cloud. But we support all and sundry. We want you to please come to the MTN Cloud, consume our services, and deliver business value for yourself and for your organization of it, regardless of the fact that you are either an SME, large enterprise, or just a one-man business, as we like to call it locally.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Onome, for that response. We hope it answers your question, James. So moving along quickly to the frequently asked questions. A question that we have here for you, Toby, is on MTN Cloud strategy. So what is MTN Cloud strategy for supporting advanced compute workloads, e.g. AI/ML, data analytics through GPU-enabled infrastructure? Please shed some light on that.
Okay, thank you, Ifeoma. So this is a good question, and we know that enterprises today are looking to deploy AI, enterprise-grade AI, for their own use, basically to keep data local and not to allow what belongs to them as data to be found in the public space. So yes, MTN Cloud is roadmapped a path to getting this available to customers with support from Dell. Those infrastructure are being pipelined for use within the MTN Cloud. So what we are looking at is we are currently gathering data around enterprise usage and what people want to have, and also making plans to make GPU-ready systems available within the cloud stack so that enterprises can then roll out their maybe pre-built AI models into those systems and run them there. So this would be GPU-enabled platform that allows you to run whatever you want to, within the system, and allow you to also dedicate those nodes to yourself, so as an enterprise, as well as in the future bring it to a place where we can have it as a GPU as a service offering. But today it will be dedicated instances for large enterprises who want to run their own models dedicated to them without having data filtered to other part of the other customers or other environments. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Toby. So I see a message from Marv. It seems to be more of a customer support related question. So Marv, what I would suggest is if you can kindly send this to let's talk.ng@mtn.com, and we'll have somebody look into this and work you through the concern, also in the interest of time. Next question is from Aurel Oladiji, and the question reads, what guarantees or SLAs exist around automated failover time, and how much of that process is user managed versus platform managed on MTN Cloud? So what guarantees or SLAs exist around automated failover time, and how much of that process is user managed versus platform managed on MTN Cloud? Tobe, Onome, who can take this, please?
Okay.
Or would you like
so
the
the MTN
person
Cloud,
to Excel sheets? Okay, go ahead.
I would take that preliminarily and discuss this in details with the customer later on. However, the MTN Cloud is a tier 3 environment, and we support that tier 3 SLA, which is a 99.98 service level agreement. There are also SLAs for different service categories that will be customer deployed and MTN managed, MTN Cloud managed in services. So as we roll out platform services, for example, then you have SLAs will also be backed. Those services will be backed by different kind of SLAs for the category of customers that we have. That being said, we'll also be looking at in the part of support for services beyond just the availability of the service itself. There are also SLAs that we're also going to roll out for different categories and subcategories of customers on the platform, which would include time to response, when calls are made, time to resolution, where is a managed service, like I mentioned earlier. So there are categories of SLAs, and these documentations can be shared with you if you reach out to your partner account manager, your customer account manager. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Toby. And Oreoluwa, as Toby rightly said, please feel free to get in touch with us for further discussions about your question. Okay, so Nicargo raised a concern about the IVR. Can calls be intelligently routed based on customer inputs, location, or priority? Can they be intelligently routed based on customer inputs, location, or priority? Toby, something you can take? Please go ahead.
Okay, for Nicargo, thank you for the question. For the IVR system, like I mentioned earlier, we don't currently have an IVR touchpoint, like a customer touchpoint for the cloud, which was what Onome said earlier. We will not at the moment route it through IVRs. It's currently based through your access is through the tickets that are raised for support today, and also through your partner, your customer account manager. So in the future, obviously, as customer base grows and support desks become insufficient to handle all customers. So today you have a personal touch for every concern you have within the cloud. Somebody is there on the other side to join a call with you, right, and walk you through fixing the issue that you have on the cloud. In the future, when we say that future is coming very soon, where we have so many customers on the system and we need to automate some of these actions. Yes, there will be at some point requirement for IVR, requirement for you to have through your tickets to be automated through a system that allows it to auto resolve your issue without interfacing with people and so on. But today the IVR is not in place. We'll be working on that in the future for the MTN cloud itself. Yeah. Nicargo, I hope this answers the question. Am I still audible?
Yes, you are. Nicargo, we hope that answers your question. Vincent asks, does MTN Cloud support managing resources programmatically or strictly directly through the portal?
So, Onome, you want to take this?
Okay. I think both of us came on mute at the same time, so I'll jump on this one. First off,
Okay.
before we delve into this question by Vincent, Nicargo, we might need to get in touch with you to talk some more about this, because I see that you have got a lot of questions around the IVR space. So let's find out if you want to deploy an IVR solution or you want to piggyback on what infrastructure we already have from a telco perspective. Let's discuss that and iron that out some more. Okay, so please reach out. Thank you. So for Vincent, we do support IAC, currently Terraform. We have a roadmap where we would also offer some more options for say CI/CD pipelines or some sort of other management systems to do deployments or interactions with the MTN cloud. As of today, we do offer that on Terraform for IAC, and also you have the portal. Yeah, Nicargo, I see you. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. I wanted to be sure you were still on the call.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so in the interest of time, just one more question. Okay, this one is from Marv. So it says, looking at the numbers which are broken down here, MTN Cloud is currently a tough sell on price compared to global competitors. If you're charging more than the giants, what's the feature that makes the premium worth for a local dev? Data sovereignty, Naira payments don't really cut it, seeing as AWS also allows payments in Naira. So on pricing, really, let's hit that.
Okay, so if you don't, yeah, if you don't mind, I would like to respond, the former. First off, I want to thank Marv. I don't know you personally, but I see you've joined every one of our webinars. I've also seen a couple of your emails. I like the fact that you are advocating for the MTN Cloud and giving us very useful feedback. So for this, I'm very grateful. The cost conversation is it's not a long conversation. It's pretty much the fact around what the cost components are here and what the cost components are in other developed clients. You'd agree with me that cost of infrastructure alone is quite sizable when you talk about power, environmental cost, security, pretty much everything that a lot of the other guys outside the shore of the country might not need to worry about. Now, the MTN Cloud is here to stay. And because we're here to stay and we're here for the long haul, we're having conversations with our customers around the pricing. We talked about commitment-based discounts during one of the, I think somebody asked a question around that, where I spoke about the fact that if you want to if you want to keep your workload for say a year or 3 years time period, you get a little more discount. So we have a lot of things, and some of the things that Toby had spoken about when we're talking about the type of billing that we have. All of that is working hand in hand to help our customers manage their cloud spend. But on the whole, we are here for the long haul. We're here to stay. As circumstances permit and as things change, would always have these conversations about price. In some cases, price of things will review up. In some cases, they review downwards. But I want you to know that your feedback is taken. We are here for the long haul. I would like to discuss some more about what we can do from your perspective. And I've seen your blog post. Thank you very much. I'd like us to chat about it and rub minds on some of the practical steps that we can take to find this nice middle point where the deal will be sweet for both parties. Now, Naira pricing is not the only thing that we offer. We have spoken about data residency. I don't want to use the word Naira pricing because what the other guys are doing is simply currency exchange. So it's going to cost you $2. I multiply it by the exchange rate and tell you what to pay in Naira. That's not what we're offering. We're offering a billed service in Naira. So it's not exchange rate dependent. That helps enterprises with planning, for forecasting, for cost. Larger enterprises that are really feeling care about what their OPEX models are and funding. All of this play a nice role into helping them achieve that. Then, of course, we have the data residency, compliance for organizations that that means a lot for. There are quite a number of them, especially in the FSI space. Then we have the local personal support, like I like to put it. All of that is the value proposition that we're bringing up to the MTN Cloud.
Nicely answered, Onome. Thank you. And yes, Marv, we are more than happy to engage you further after the call. Just send an email to letstalk.ng@mtn.com. You can also include your phone number. Onome, I'm sure will personally give you a call so we can engage you further. All right. Do we have time for one more question, or do we wrap it up? Because it's already 11:05. Toby, Onome, please guide. Time for one more question, or do we wrap it up?
I think we can do one more question. Yeah.
Okay. So the question is from Samuel. Hello, Samuel. Nice to have you here. And the question says, are there plans to provide a VPS offering that could suffice for many businesses? So who would like to take that? Plans to provide a VPS offering.
Okay, Onome, let me take this. Yeah, so I get this question is important for the SMEs and the customers who are also considering price. And I think it also fits into the answer, the previous question you answered where the customer was talking about pricing, matching with other providers across the world. So yes, this is also being roadmapped. The idea here is so we rolled out the service recently, and we are looking at every market that needs to be, covered. That VPS market is something that needs to be dealt, addressed, and we are road mapping services that will allow us to also get in those smaller users in comparison to the large enterprises, and also provide them, pricing friendly services that can suit their pockets. So like Onome said, this is MTN Cloud by Nigerians for Nigerians and the world, and we're ensuring that everyone who needs to run services, cloud services within the country, can do that on MTN Cloud, and we'll do that with a reasonable pricing model also provided for it. So yes, a lot of work is being done around research. We're looking at what the market needs, not just services to be just rolled out for the roller's sake, but to address needs within different niches. And this will come online. I would be happy to, talk to you or any community you belong to x-ray the level of or the components of those services that you would like to have, and would pipeline them and bring them to light. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Samuel says exciting. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Toby, for your response.
Thank you, Samuel.
All right. It's been quite a time here at Ask the Cloud Experts webinar.
I don't know if you can hear us. I don't think you're audible. Or is this just me? Terry, can you hear us?
Someone is breaking up.
I think she has having some network just at this last moment. A glitch,
Okay.
just a glitch. So just want to appreciate everyone for joining our call today. It was excellent having all our guests coming right on time for this session. And thanks for making it very engaging. Thanks for the questions. And hope to see you on our next webinar, which will be duly advertised in good time. For all your questions on the chat board, we have put our email address there, letstalk.ng@mtn.com. Please send in all your inquiries. We want to hear from you, and we want to also work with you definitely on this as we proceed in this journey built by us for us. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you so much from the entire MTN team on this call. And to all our facilitators, thank you so much. Please do have a lovely rest of your day, and thank you very much.